Service dogs, emotional support animals, therapy pets. More and more, we're seeing people using animals to help them cope with life's challenges. But differentiating between these types of animals, it can be difficult. And unfortunately, many people don't know the difference, or they try to take advantage of that very fact. But the truth is, each of these animals has a very different job from the others, and those terms are not interchangeable.
Come here, Belle. Come here, Belle. Okay, come here. They'll sit. Lay down, stay.
7-year-old Belle is a familiar face at Dr. Alan McKenzie's family practice in Little Rock.
She seems to kind of make the whole place feel more calm and home-like. Isn't that right, Belle? Isn't that right?
Belle is a certified therapy dog, trained to visit places like hospitals, schools, daycares, and nursing homes.
She really seems to have a sense of patients when they're anxious or worried or sad. She'll just go and sit with them and let them, pet them and love on her all day long if they want to. I've had her for almost 3 years.
Dr. McKenzie says he sees many patients who benefit from the support of animals.
PTSD, anxiety disorder, separation disorder, grief, bereavement. These are all conditions where we know that, having an animal around can be very comforting.
In some of these cases, he'll recommend an emotional support animal, or ESA, whose primary role is to provide their owners with emotional comfort. An emotional support animal can include pets like dogs, pigs, cats, hamsters, and more. While ESAs are not covered under the Americans with Disabilities Act, most are accepted in public facilities and living quarters that typically don't allow pets. And airlines are required to allow them to accompany their handlers in the cabin of the aircraft.
Unfortunately, the doctor doesn't really always get to know the animal and the circumstance. So when we're saying that the patient would benefit from an emotional support animal, we don't know whether that animal is going to be a nuisance to other people around.
A big difference between an emotional support animal and a service animal is that a service animal requires training. At a veteran's best friend, a dog is required to go through 12 to 15 months of training before it can be put to work.
The service animals are specifically trained to perform tasks for their person to mitigate their specific disability.
A Veteran's Best Friend is a nonprofit in Cabot that provides service dogs to veterans free of charge.
He's medicine for me. He is medicine for me. Instead of me taking a pill, I have him.
Sit down. Oh boy.
That's how Dave Grimm, who was diagnosed with PTSD 2 years ago, met and fell in love with Ringo.
If my adrenaline gets high and I start to have a meltdown, he will alert on me and actually cause me to pay attention to him instead of any of the situations that I may be in.
Ringo, up here. Here.
Service dogs like Ringo are protected under the Americans with Disabilities Act and are allowed to go anywhere their owner goes, as long as they're wearing the proper vest. However, Grimm says he sees too many people taking advantage of that.
The big thing is you can go online and for, anywhere from $60 on up, you can get, quote, paperwork and a vest that says your dog is a service dog.
Putting the work of real service dogs in jeopardy.
It does a disservice to the legitimacy of actual working dogs.
Let's go this way. Good boy.
Now, 19 states have enacted laws cracking down on people who try to pass off their pets as service animals. In Michigan, for example, a state that just passed the law, it's a misdemeanor, and that's punishable by 90 days in jail and a fine. Arkansas, though, not included on that list right now. But I really wanted to do this story because I wanted people to understand the differences. Because some people get upset when they see a dog on a plane, but they don't understand that dog might be an emotional support animal, which is allowed to be on a plane with you. You just might not realize that they're actually working.
And again, in order to get an ESA, what do you have to do?
You can go to your doctor,
Right.
and I'll be honest, I experienced something 2 years ago where my doctor recommended that I get my dog as an emotional support animal, and I don't really tell a lot of people that because I don't really use her. It was just nice, a comfort to have.
Right.
But what the doctor recommends is that you have the dog before. You don't just get a letter and then go and get a dog from a shelter because
Right.
you don't know if that dog is going to be okay
Right.
around
Absolutely,
humans.
yeah.
Because again, ESAs do not require training.
Right.
It's a letter from your doctor, but the doctor that we spoke with recommends getting that dog, to a vet, making sure that they're okay to be around people in public places, so that way you don't have an issue like that.
Right. I think it's so important just for people to understand the differences and also understand that these are a real need. That, and unfortunately, people try to, get fake certificates or things like that, and that only causes harm to the people who really do need these support and service animals.
I agree. Do your research, really, really do your research, and get the training if you feel like it's necessary. Even if those dogs don't require actual training, it's better to at least get it, just to be better safe than sorry.
And Laura's dog was in that video, if you did see. I saw multiple
She
cameos.
always makes a cameo. You know that.